Hey there viewers, it's Charlie. I'm back again with another Transformers review. And today's review is going to be on Legacy, Evolution, Armada, Megatron. Now, I have been really excited for this figure ever since he was teased in that pipeline reveal. Not just because I love Armada, but because I have the original Armada Galvatron figure, and, well, seeing how we've got this guy in Legacy, they're definitely going to be recoloring this guy into Armada Galvatron soon. And according to leaked listings, that does seem to be the case. So, yeah, I am really excited for that when that comes out. But for now, with Megatron himself, well, looking at the box, of course we've got the standard leader class packaging for Legacy and Evolution. So of course we don't have a window, we just have a straight up picture of Megatron, and I just trying to look intimidating. Here we got a picture of his tank mode. Here it says Armada Universe Megatron. This side we've got close up of his face, antlers and all. Got his vehicle mode right there. This side we've got the usual mural. And then we've got Armada Prime, which I'm also really excited for. Unfortunately, it hasn't released yet in the UK, as far as I'm aware. The back, we've got them in both modes. The tank barrel can actually detach and form a little arm-mounted weapon at la Shockwave. And the Evo Fusion, which is a callback to one of his original gimmicks, which I just love. So you can still spin the entire tank barrel around and just have it on the front if you want to do that. So, yeah. And the QR code if you want to scan that. So, that's pretty much it for the box. And looking at the figure, which I am really excited to do, because with the original Armada Megatron and Galvatron mold, that had a lot of hidden gimmicks, which they actually do mold as little Easter eggs. Of course, they're not actually usable in this version, but there's still nice hidden nods. So looking at the tank mode, well, compared to the Combiner Wars version, which was just, well, G1 Megatron painted green and with Armada Megatron's head, this is a lot more faithful to the original Armada Megatron design. Because we can see it's an actual H-tank. His head is right there as a sort of capture claw for mini-cons. Even though mini-cons have sort of been phased out for Legacy, unfortunately. All the original gimmicks have been molded in. Unfortunately, you can't use them, but... well, in their place, we got some combat ports. So, yeah. Like here, where these would originally flip out to fucking mini-cons, we instead just have a port there. Originally, this would come out and open up. This, on the original figure, would come down and there would be a capture claw. This would come out on the original figure. And this, if you plug this in, this would make sounds. This, if you plugged in a mini-con, would flip this out. So, yeah. A lot of the original gimmicks have been faithfully recreated here. Just not fully usable, but Well, of course, budget in 2023 is a lot different than it was back in 2003, so yeah, I can understand why they're not fully molded in. Well, like the actual gimmicks are not fully molded in, like these aren't fully flippable, and why this is just a molded piece instead of being able to flip out. But the fact that they're still there as like little references, I can definitely appreciate that. Plus, of course, we got the ports here, so you can still plug in the Micromasters if you want to still get the feel of mini cards. Even though, of course, this guy doesn't come with a Leader 1, unfortunately. And the underneath, of course, they actually still kept the face guard, which I actually quite like. And with the rolling wheels, if you want to just push this guy along, then you can. So, yeah. And that's pretty much it for the tank mode. And well, for accessories, well, he doesn't come with any actual weapons. However, well, the tank barrel is actually separate in box, so this is actually meant to be an accessory. This is more for like the robot mode, but well, if you want them to have a shorter barrel, then well, there you go. So yeah. And well, for blast effect compatibility, well, if I can actually just get one. Let's go for the fully assembled look this time, because this is a tank after all. And that just looks amazing. So, yeah, of course you can just plug in a blast effect. You can go for the full-on combined look, like, because I've got the Commander class Ronimus blast effect plugged in here. Just try to be careful removing it, because you might accidentally remove the entire tank barrel. But of course, this is also posable, because you can also move this up and down, and you can turn this around. On the original figure, this would make noise if I remember correctly. But it can only move up to there if you're moving it to the left, and if you move it to the right, it can only move up to around there. So, yeah. Now that's pretty much it for the tank mode, but before we move on to the transformation, let's compare him with the other Armada Legacy figures that I have so far. Unfortunately, I don't have Optimus yet, because he's not available yet in the UK, because Pulse has him scheduled to ship around the end of July as of the time of recording. So, but well, here he is with Starscream, and these two just look amazing together, and it does have me hoping that we get more Decepticons, like Cyclonus, Demolisher, maybe Wheeljack. I mean, sure, it'll be another use of the Sideswipe mold, but still. And I do really hope it gets Sideways. And why not? Let's also add a Hot Shot to the mix. So, yeah. That's pretty much it for the current, well, that's pretty much it for the current Armada representatives in Legacy so far, aside from Optimus, but still. Plus, if we also add Override and Metroplex, then I'll be all the Unicorn Trilogy representatives. still kind of weird how the Energon universe has not been represented yet. Although a lot of the listings of a core class Energon Megatron, I mean, I'll just have to wait and see. Now I'll just briefly getting those two transformed off screen, and then we can get to this guy's robot mode. So, to get this guy transformed, well, it's basically just a modernized version of the original figure. So, to start off, we're just going to come to the underneath, untap these little panels here, get the legs undone, split them out, close up these panels, move them down, get the feet out, and these are actually like really tight. Ooh. Get the heels out. Try and get him standing. Here we go. Open up the tank barrel on this hinge here, so we can spin around the waist. Move the front treads down like so. Then just move these down. Of course, these are going to be his shoulders. Just want to untab them from these black sections here. Move this entire section down like so, so it's just facing off center like it's some sort of sword hilt. Lift up these flaps. Open up these panels. Get the arms down. Close these. Get the hands out. So struggling here because I'm having to reach out all the way to do this. And well, on the original figure, you actually had to move this bit down to get the face guard down, whereas on this version, you open this up, flip this in, and then close this up. And well, here we have Armada Megatron in robot mode. And yeah, that's basically a modernized version of how he normally transforms. And well, the resulting robot mode is, well, it's basically all I want in a Armada Megatron figure. Just having a 360. Of course, the tank barrel is sort of facing off center, but of course, there's ways to remedy that, as we'll see. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the small knife in his hand, which is sort of upsetting, but oh well. Now, looking at the head. Now, that is an amazing head sculpt. I just love that. It's got the horns, it's got the mean-looking face. However, one thing I noticed is, and I'm not going to do this on camera, the horns come off really easily. And I noticed that when I first opened him. Like, these horns, like, if you just touch them, like, they're like, of course they're soft plastic, which makes sense, but you can see it's like starting to come out. So, yeah, these horns come off really easily. And they can sort of be a bit tricky to pop back in. So just be wary of that. Now, if you don't like this being off-center, well, good news. If you remember the original, like, Armada figure, you could sort of have the barrel, or in fact, the QR code bio calls this the fusion cannon. A nice reference there. But it could actually have this being under his armpit. And you can actually replicate that. And this is how I choose to display him. So, yeah. I think it's a nice nod to the original Geo Megatron toy. He also had the barrel under his armpit. And I just think that looks a bit better than just having it facing off to one side. However, of course, there's another thing that you can do. So if we just have these facing outwards, or we just get that out. So if we extend this out, move this down, then we can spindle this around. Close this back up. Have this facing forward. And then get this facing forward. Here we have this guy's Evo Fusion, which is a full-on recreation of his Minicon gimmick. And I just love that. The fact that they went the extra mile to recreate this is just amazing. And I think these are actually facing forward this time, because if I remember, the original figure, seeing how this, you had to plug in a Minicon to have it facing forward, it was sort of off-center. But now they're both facing forward, which is just... So, yeah. And well, of course, this means you can just plug in a blast effect there. We can plug in some blast effects here. So if you want to have this look going on. And of course, with this mode on the original figure, you could also plug in a blast effect, not blast effect, Minicon, and just have to spin around. But unfortunately, they actually gutted that with this release because, well, it only goes up to around there or here. Yeah, it doesn't spin 360 on the Legacy version for some reason. I sort of don't know why. I don't know if it's like for stability, for transformation reasons. I don't know. But it's still nice that they included this, and they decided that this is going to be his Evo Fusion gimmick. So, yeah. I actually quite like how they decided that for the Armada figures, that Evo Fusion gimmick is going to be what used to be their Minicon gimmick. I'll just quickly get this back off camera. There we go. Now there is one more thing, and it's what's shown on box. And this is more comparable to the EVA Fusion gimmicks that other figures have. If you remember, the actual tank barrel itself is removable. And this is for an actual reason, because, well, you can flip up one of the hands. And that reveals this port. So you can just plug this in, and now he's got a little gun hand, sort of similar to a Shockwave. What purpose does this serve? I don't know. Maybe it's just like a little fun gimmick they can advertise on the box. Yeah, I'm never gonna use this. In fact, I'm just gonna bring this up. The shoulders are just too loose. Like, not if you move it, they move about loose, but if you're trying to pose them, these shoulders move way too much. And I just think that's really annoying. And I suppose we should just move on to this guy's articulation now. Well, of course, his head can go side to side. On the original figure, his arms could actually move forward, but here, his shoulders don't move. So you're left with just moving this up, and then just moving the arm up. So unfortunately, he can't really lift his entire arm up like he could on the original figure. But he can T-pose if the bloody shoulders will stop moving. But anyway, he's got elbows, bicep rotation, got wrist rotation, waist rotation. His legs can go forward that far. Back, not that far, because this does get in the way. Knees and a little clicky ratchet joint there. Can do the splits. Of course, he's got ankles. Like, click into place. And I actually forgot to mention, of course, he's got the ports and the feet. So if we can actually find the other blast effect, there we go. Can plug these in. Or of course, if you've got weaponizers or the like, you can plug those in. So yeah. And well, just putting him with Starscream and Hotshot, you can see how he looks with them. And he actually looks really good with them. So hopefully, if this is going to be the start of a Generations Armada collection, which I do hope so, I do hope that they make more figures aside from the main 4 cast. Because, like, these are really accurate, and I just love how they look. And I'm really excited to get Optimus, because he's going to look really great with these guys. So, yeah. So, this has been my review on Legacy Armada Megatron. Complaints? Well, surprisingly quite a few. Of course, we've got the horns, which can come off quite easily. The shoulders move quite a bit. I do kind of wish that the tank turret section, I kept calling it the tank barrel, but this is the turret section. I do wish that the turret section just moved freely instead of having locked positions. So yeah, I do wish that this moved freely. I wish that the shoulders could move instead of just being fixed like on the original figure. But yeah, overall, I love this figure. Like it's definitely it's what I've wanted from a modern Armada Megatron. So yeah, and when that uni part of Legacy releases Galvatron, I am so buying it. So yeah, so do I recommend this figure? Well, if you're a fan of Armada, then absolutely, because this is just amazing in my opinion. Sure, it's got those flaws like the shoulders, which are really annoying, but if you're buying this to be a display piece, then this is absolutely amazing. And seriously, this is gonna look great with Optimus. See, I'm just stunned. I'm stunned by this thing. But even if you have Optimus, because he is out in some countries, so either if you have Optimus or if he's not out and you're waiting for him, this guy is going to look great next to him. So yeah. So this has been my review on Legacy Evolution Armada Megatron, and this is Charlie Young signing off.